Hey everybody, welcome to My Porch Barbecue. Today we're going to do a temperature test on the Lang. I read some comments and some people had some observations about the temperatures on the Lang. Some people said that they had to get rid of their Lang because the reverse plate was too close to the grate and burned up the meat. Well, that got me thinking, what were the temperatures on the grate, along the bottom? In this video we're going to take a look at the different zones in the cook chamber of the Lang and see what conclusions we come up with.
All right, we're just going to test the temperatures on the Lang. So we've got an analog and a digital in the lower corner, right hand side next to the firebox. Then we got a digital probe in the middle. Then we got a digital probe on the left hand side next to where the air turns up from the reverse plate. Upper left we have a digital. Then I have an analog in the middle. Then another digital on the upper rack next to the firebox. So this is our setup. Let's go ahead and get it started. So here's our thermometer reading. So you can see we're all within about a degree of one another. So whatever we see, we're gonna say plus or minus 1 or 2 degrees because of the thermometers. But yeah, we're right around 79, 80 degrees depending on which thermometer's doing. We have a nice fire going, bringing the smoker up to temp. Not a lot of wind today, so really kind of ideal conditions to kind of test this out. Typical splits, nothing too large, nothing too small. About six inches and about 2.5 wide. What I thought we would do is we'll bring it up to temperature and we're going to go by the Lang dial first because that's kind of the default temperature measurement gauge that we have for the smoker. Then we'll check the Lang dial says X. We'll then look at the other thermometers that we have placed throughout the smoker to see what variance, if any, that we have. I'm already suspecting there's a variance, which is going to be okay. You just have to learn how to use your smoker. That's really no different than other smokers that I've had. All right, here we go. We're going to do round 1. So the Lang dial says that we're right at, gosh, I want to say around 230. Then looking at what we've got on we've got a 230, a 292, 224. The upper right, definitely going crazy. 318, bottom right, 252. That's actually not too much off the middle dial. From one side to the other, it's not so bad. About 10 degrees. It's the upper racks. Those upper racks definitely are going to have some variance to them. But as this pit gets up to temp, we'll see if the reverse plate evens it out. Take a look at our fire. You can see we got a nice little fire going. It finally clicked with me on the fire dog basket. So I bank the coals front and back and leave like the middle open so that there's airflow. Now my airflow is side to side. And so it's basically going underneath the logs. So you can see right here, here's our vent. And you can see right there, let's see, well, heck, there you go. You can see it's feeding the fire. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me now. All right, our Lang dial is right at 250. We got a 250, a 280, a 243. Well, that's pretty even except for the top one. Over here, we've evened out top and bottom somewhat. I mean, next to the firebox, we're now 15 degrees difference. Which, given it's right over the firebox, isn't horrible. So yeah. 251 to 242. And that's from that would be from your middle over. And of course, same thing, you're going to run a hot spot right here with this upper right corner being the hottest.
All right, so after 3 rounds, with each round being around 45 minutes, the average temps per zone were 306 on the upper right-hand side, 268 on the lower end next to the firebox, 245 in the middle, which read the same as the Lang dial, 244 on the left-hand side on the bottom. Really, when I think about how the smoker performs, I tend to smoke on kind of the back half on the left-hand side. So no surprise there. I do think the top rack would be perfect for chicken or small cuts of meat that you wanted to cook faster. Well, we did a couple rounds of testing and looked at our temperatures, and we can see what the average temperatures across the cook chamber along the bottom grate from right to left, and along the top of the grate left to right. And here's my thoughts. Yeah, I'm okay with the different zones in the cook chamber. I don't have to have a 5-degree temperature difference from left to right and up and down. And in fact, having a difference in temperature or having some variance in different parts of the smoker, it works for me. We're in an interesting time in backyard barbecue right now. The focus is on even temperatures left to right. I have even shown the same thing in my videos where I pan the camera from one thermometer slowly over to the other. It makes for great video, but just remember, what you see on the door thermometer is not what's happening on the grate. It's not the full picture. Well, hopefully this video is helpful for some of you that are considering getting a Lang 36. Having cooked on the Lang 36, I can tell you I enjoy the pit immensely. Now, I also got comments from my brisket flat failure. That's a mouthful. And yeah, that was embarrassing to make a video and then fail so dramatically at the end. Now, some people drew the wrong conclusion. They thought that it was the Lang that burned up the brisket flat. That's not true. I burnt up the brisket flat, as I should have added liquid to the wrap. Now, you can pause and rewind that if you want. I forgot to add liquid to the wrap. We reheated the brisket flat and we added liquid back, and it turned out fine. There was nothing wrong with the way the Lang cooked the meat. Hey, as always, I appreciate you watching. Please leave a comment. Would love to get your thoughts. And hey, if you like the videos, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching My Porch Barbecue.